But we're gonna cross 100,000 views in this stream. Dude, so hyped. Thank you so much for helping make that happen. I really do appreciate that. But welcome to Bulwark, a map from the Team Liquid map-making contest pool. Spawning in the top right, it's our red Terran player. We just got done watching him live. Now we're watching a replay from the Shopify Rebellion. This is BYUN. And spawning in the top left of Bulwark, it's our blue Zerg player, his new opponent from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is Rogue. No spoilers, but Rogue had some very entertaining games today in GSL. So no spoilers. If you haven't watched it, I encourage you, go watch it. All I will say from Artosis's tweet was, dang, it was some good StarCraft today. And he was absolutely right. But let's take a peek at this new map here. This is one of the maps in consideration from the Team Liquid map-making contest. Bulwark is a 4-player map. We're going to start making a return to a little bit of randomized positions here in the StarCraft 2 multiplayer pool. I'd love to know, what are your thoughts about that in chat? How do you feel about the return of the 4-player maps in StarCraft 2? I remember Tastosis not remembering how much an extractor cost. Hilarious. BYUN clearly going for the same kind of opening here in game number 1 of his series against Rogue. Going through the triple barracks. Dark's got a really nice way to take his third base here. I mean, this third base is pretty protected, actually. It is a big ramp, but the ramp itself is admittedly very far away from the hatchery, so it does have a observation tower out in the center. A giant amount of rocks here, creating just the tiniest choke in the natural. 4-player maps are a bit too big, but they're okay. Sal was salty about it. I don't know, they're fun to cheese on. A bit flat, single color area looks horrid in this game. I don't know if this is going to be the end. Maybe it is. But I mean, that's all the more reason to play Zerg, right? Look at that. Oh, see, we zoom all the way in, and oh, baby. Look at all the colors and textures. Man, so good. All right, so BYUN does not necessarily know where his opponent is. I think he was able to scout the Overlord coming from the left, so that would give him some indication that that was in fact on its way. Darkness would like to have sound. Is there anyone else that having sound issues? Seems like sound is working fine for me. I'm gonna take a peek at OBS really fast here, and yeah, sound's coming out. You can hear. If your sound's not working, I would encourage you to... Oh, that's on your side. Ah, okay. Good. I always like to double check, just to be certain. I like StarCraft 2 music. Yeah, man, me too. Okay, so BYUN deciding not to be super aggressive here in this opening map of this series. He does have a fair amount of barracks, but choosing not to really push across the map with this as of yet. Now, Rogue here is doing his diligence to kind of open up some paths. He's going to take down the rocks. That's going to allow his units to be able to stream out of his main base just a little bit easier. Picking up a Baneling Nest behind the natural, getting into his lair on top of it. Rogue is going to be able to scout in here with the Overlord, but not really going to see much other than the Marines at this point. So, kind of sketchy situation here for Rogue. And it's a fair number of Marines as well. 28 to the 36 Lings of his opponent. I mean, in a moment where you could be vulnerable and foolish, you could say, but Rushi, 36? That's greater than 33. I learned that in school. The more you have, the better. You sweet summer child. Is this for Alpha X YouTube eventually? Admittedly, not sure. But what's up, Bama? Nice to see you. Okay, some good stutter step micro here. Eliminating all of those valuable Zerglings. Now the Banelings are going to come in from the bottom side here. That is going to have to be a stutter step backwards in a bigger way because on creep, those Banelings, even when slow, will still be rather effective. But BYUN still, this is not Observer Plus. We're going to get to watch this all over again. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to Observer Plus. We're going to see if this engagement goes any differently. Oh my gosh, he's murdering those Zerglings in exactly the same format. Here come the Banelings. Will BYUN see those Banelings this time around? No, it's the exact same outcome because that's just how it works. We'll check the units lost tab this time and see that it's a pretty fair exchange. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. Scary, scary stuff here. Yeah, the Banes came out at a pretty decent time here for Rogue, and holding off on the Baneling count manages to put things forward for him. Whew. My heart rate will come down now. I get so nervous when I'm just so used to Observer Plus, and then B is the same hotkey as Observer Plus. It's Shift B for Observer Plus battle report, but B just sends you back 20 seconds. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, BYUN's gonna be able to push on forward here, despite the fact that Rogue did come out with a pretty decent Baneling timing. I think this is still going to be a lot of damage, but Rogue's gonna come across with a nice little counterattack. A decent amount of Zerglings could find their way into the natural here, although the natural's been completely walled off. This is impenetrable. This is unfortunate. Nice to have a bit more content. I hope Rushi agrees. Oh, I do. We got a lot of great people at Alpha X doing all sorts of content, both replay cast and live. So folks, make sure to follow all those people. Give Beowulf a follow. He's a great dude. Does a lot of casting for the ESL Cups. Helps out with replay casts as well. He is definitely worth your follow. You will enjoy his content very, very much. Rushi's in it for the Twitch memes. Shh, Safari, you're not supposed to tell anyone. This is supposed to be our secret, you promised. Oh no, I've been exposed. Twitch chat, why? That's a big monk-ass moment. All right, so BYUN is finding a decent amount of damage here. We're gonna go to the units lost tab once again. B is an illegal button right now. Okay, utilizing the bottom left main base here to harass at this what would be a third base location normally, but these ones are gonna get obliterated. That's unfortunate, and they're gonna continue to get work done, and they're just all green. They're all green health. Baneling's not going to quite find any connections just yet. And again, this is where BYUN thrives. He thrives in this drop play scenario here. He's able to attack in multiple places on the map. He's going to pick up his +2. In fact, both players are kind of on the same path for their +2. +1 vehicle weapons also being brought in on top of his infantry upgrades. Rogue's trying to do the dark thing where he just swarms. He's just going to have tons and tons of Ling Bane. Admittedly, only one macro hatch here, I think, holds him back just a little bit, but he is running on 5 normal bases, so that could possibly be an issue. It's actually a very nice siege position here for BYUN. It still has that cooling tower to be able to prevent a major wraparound. And there aren't quite enough Lings here just yet to be able to absorb the overwhelming damage. Plenty of Marines. The Queens could be brought in as a result of this. Instead, I think BYUN's just going to, yeah, he's just going to pick up and peace. Oh gosh, look at this tank. This tank has 19 kills. How do you get to this tank? You have to run all the way around, or you just go this way. Okay, I stand corrected. This immortal tank, not so immortal. BYUN's decided though to take the high ground here and just own these two bases forever. In fact, he gets both. He picks off the 5th base location. He's going to grab the 4th as well. Rogue needs to try and find a little bit of damage, but the base is going to get picked up and lifted off. BYUN has just turtled himself in. And it's weird because usually you see turtle mech. Very rarely do you see turtle bio, though. BYUN's always been a pioneer, though, in the StarCraft realm, making it work. So now what is the result behind this is more barracks, more bio, more tanks, plus 2 vehicle weapons being researched as well. We do have lurker play coming in, though. Maru often turtles with bio. That's fair. Oh, BYUN's just gonna take this phase. Hey, don't mind me, you're not using it. I'll just borrow this from you. So this is going remarkably well here for BYUN. I don't even know. Will I get an income? I do! We get income advantage. Thank the Lord. This is a lot of blings and a lot of banes, and the hydras are starting to get up in large enough amounts, but those tanks are finding way more damage than they should be. Yeah, 18 kills there. I didn't get a chance to click on that. But BYUN is finding a ton of damage here. Rogue 144 to 192 of BYUN. And BYUN's just going to be able to keep pushing on forward. Oh, he's able to get a planetary fortress down here. Yeah, that's going to be so incredibly difficult to deal with. Now, lurkers are going to be brought in here. 6 are on the way. But without Viper support, those are going to not fare as well as they could be with tanks. They're just basically going to stop this push from advancing forward, but kind of a rough situation. The range upgrade, it's not grooved spines. What is it called? I don't remember. Vehicle weapons is now done though, so this becomes an even scarier push. There are the Vipers. Vipers are going to get aggressed upon right away. BYUN just holds down the position. And Rogue's going to have to tap out. Game number 1 goes to our Red Terran. Well played. Spawning in the bottom left of Aqueducts, our next map here in this series. So our Red Terran player up 1-0 in this best of 3. This is BYUN. And spawning in the top right, it's our blue Zerg player for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This Rogue. Give up on Twitch, switch to OnlyFans? Yes, it's a perfect opportunity. Right as I'm starting to get some traction in the Twitch universe. Let's give up on it. Just get rid of it. Get it out of here. It's wise advice. This map looks dirty. Nobody's been cleaning that floor in a while. You know, I like the green maps, though. The green maps are supposed to be like Ire, right? Ire, or like maybe one of the Earth-based maps. I don't know. I can't remember. My StarCraft 2 deep lore doesn't go back as far as it could. But I do like the forest maps. I think they're very pretty. So this is back to a 2-player map. So you're guaranteed to know where your player is going to spawn. We're just zoomed very far out, so that way we can just take a little peek at everything that's going on here. Don't worry, I'm keeping my eye on the production tab for you. Oh, okay, we got a little collapsible tower here to create some space. Kind of like that's in a very interesting place. Is this Acropolis? No, it's Aqueducts. See that right there? Okay, I got a circle for you. I got you. Okay, quick third base here. Third base is a bit removed, but I mean, it's actually rather protected here. Unless you really engage in that gap, not really a whole lot that can get on top of it from a distance. Oh, they changed the name. Oh, that's right, that's right. Yeah, I didn't think anybody would notice that I had this watermarked just over top of all of the normal maps. I still think, I firmly believe this. Don't get me wrong. I love what's happening with the map making contest. I'm so glad that Team Liquid and Shopify, that one, are supporting that and making that a thing. Absolutely love it. I want to see that continue happening. But I think it would behoove StarCraft to have one map pool where it's the all-stars map pool. Instead of 7, make it 14. And then the same kind of categories. So you've got like a macro category, a micro category. We're going battle cruisers here. That's not a category, just telling you what's happening in the game. You could do 4-player maps. You can do 2-player maps. You can do weird. And you let the community vote. Rushi clearly doesn't remember the dream pool. I can't remember something I didn't know about. Please, tell me more. But even if it's been... hello? Brenda, you gotta be careful. There's a hole there. I mean, you almost fell into the river. You gotta be careful. Alright, so we got cattle bruisers on the way. If it's been done before, biggest thing, needs to be done again. We need to do the absolute all-star map pool. You bump it up to 14. Instead of 3 bands, you do 6 bands. You call it good. Like, I think we've got it figured. I feel like I got it figured out. Like, stamp it, sign it, seal it, deliver it. I'm yours. Oh, well, yeah, that's completely different. When like Legacy of the Void completely changed the pace of the game and they brought in maps that weren't built around that meta, yes, I would expect that to be horrible and terrible, and I do remember that now. I'm suggesting, surprise, a better version. All right, how are the battle cruisers doing? It's fine. He's not gonna find that much damage. Oh, this is kind of spooky though. 15 workers ended up going down. These lings just never got dealt with. Okay, so this is a great situation here for Rogue. I mean, BYUN still has a lot of damage potential here. Don't get me wrong, but Rogue can afford to lose the workers here. He's got plenty of transfuses though, and this is getting caught up in a choke. These Cellbats are not going to find the damage they need to, and these lings are still doing work out across the map. Rogue! He gets them! Game number 2 goes to our Zerg player. We're going to a game number 3 here. Get to see one more map. Here we are on the Scavenger. Another map from the Team Liquid map making contest number 15. Spawning in the bottom left in this best of 3. Our blue Terran player for the Shopify Rebellion. This is BYUN. And spawning in the top right. For Dragon Phoenix Gaming, our red Zerg player. This is Rogue. Abyssal Reef was awesome. Yes, it absolutely was. I wasn't memeing about Abyssal Reef, but I figured that inevitably I would say Abyssal Reef is like one of the best maps in the Legacy of the Void, and someone would be like, no, Rushi was terrible. I played Zerg and all I did was get harassed by a tank drop at my third base. It was awful. I couldn't do anything about it. It was so broken. So inevitably I wanted to make sure that I snuck in some just truly horrible maps. Dreamcatcher wasn't too bad. It was just very odd. It was very unique. Dreamcatcher for me is still the hype map from DreamHack Austin. Serral versus Mana in the finals. And Mana is currently 1-1. And it's the end game. And Serral has Broodlord Infestor. I think Mana was rocking like Stalker, Immortal, Archon, Zealot. Your stereotypical death ball. And In Control is shoutcasting, and it's like, oh, he's gonna try and posture up. You can't just blink into Broodlords. While he blinks everything forward, channels his entire patience situation here. Oh, this is kind of cute. And then Mana just wins, goes up 2-1 over the God King Serral. I still get chills thinking about that moment because that was electric. Like, the entire crowd jumped on their feet after that. We were cheering loud for Mana. It was like all futile. Like, Serral couldn't be stopped in 2018. He crawled out of the hyperbolic time chamber and was just like, I'm gonna win all the events now. You're gonna send your best Europeans to stop me? Okay. You're gonna send your best North Americans to stop me? Okay. You're gonna send your best Koreans to stop me? Well, I'll play them in BlizzCon. I'm not gonna play GSL. Yo, what's up, John? How not to die of heat. Fans, ice, I don't know. I've already died of heat. I'm so sorry. Is Serral still good? Oh, Serral's absolutely still good. Like, the people that say Serral is no more because he doesn't win every single event that he plays are silly. Serral is still a very strong competitor. All right, BYUN. Grabbing an armory here. We haven't even looked at this map. What are we doing? This is kind of cool. Very industrial. Looks like the third base here is a little spicy. Look at that. We got a lot of different ramps into that third. BYUN gonna go for a mine or a Hellion drop here, rather. I think Serral will have a huge comeback when offline events are back. That's what everybody's speculating. So I'll be curious to see if that ends up being the case. I read that Clem has become Serral. Source, dude, just trust me. Nah, the three, they always talk about the Dark Horsemen in the Korean StarCraft scene. I mean, Serral, Raynor, and Clem are basically the dark horses of Europe. It's amazing. So Hellions, usually pretty good against Ling-only army, but in overwhelming numbers, the Lings are always going to win. So BYUN going to try and harass at that third base location with the Hellbats, but not going to find the engagement they're looking for. The Queen's down at the third base will protect the mineral line. It's going to allow Rogue to transition here, and ends up being a bit of an okay situation. I mean, this is these third bases are brutal. I mean, this has got just like tons of potential here to just get the grossest concave of your life. Rogue's doing the right thing here. He's pushing that creep spread out as far as it'll possibly go here. BYUN's going to try and corral it a little bit, but there's still way too many queens here. Is there detection? There is a spore crawler, so that non-cloakable Banshee wouldn't be able to cloak anyways. Just use more Hellions. Yeah. Hey BYUN, have you just tried being good? Have you thought about that? Dude, it's so embarrassing for you. Wow, Terran players. man. He's just not. When you don't build 2 million Marines and you're like, why can't I win the game? Nah, it's all. See, I'm revealing myself, chat. It's all for the Twitch chat memes. You've outed me, and now my true colors are showing. First off, rude. Second off, how dare you? Third off, kick W. So BYUN's been making the most of the little harassment squad here. He still hasn't lost a lot of these Hellbats. They have found a decent amount of damage. While they don't trade super effectively damage-wise against the Queens, they don't necessarily fall over to them either. So things start to not go in BYUN's way. I mean, exactly like this. He just backs up. The Queens aren't going to come off of creep because that's a bit of a risk for them. And that's going to allow BYUN to continue harassing on different corners here. He's going to be able to pick off the 4th base for now. Oh, the Queens are in a much more manageable number here, and while Rogue isn't paying attention to them, he's able to pick off one of those Queens with a low amount of HP, and he's going to be able to find additional damage as well. But these should get all cleaned up here. Oh, it's a lot of roasted Zerglings. Man, this is it's a nice little back and forth here. Rogue doing his best to try and keep his opponent pinned back here. BYUN should now be able to finally get out to his 3rd base. He does have that. It's got full mineral line saturation. Additional units do start coming across the map. Widowmine is going to be a part of the mix, as drilling claws are now going to be researched on top of it. That combat shields upgrade, admittedly a little bit later, but against predominantly Ling Bane, probably not the greatest thing to be worried about. Ooh, mine's not trading as effectively as they otherwise could. Rogue's going to take a jump up in the supply. We're going to look at the units lost tab here. Not too bad. 1,700 to effectively 3,000. That's pretty reasonable. Those are late Banes, even though Rogue had Bane speed for like half of a minute before he made the first ones. I would agree. But up to this point, Rogue hasn't necessarily needed them. Ooh, great friendly fire. Whoa. Does his best Brood War Terran impression here and drags that Widowmine right into the units of BYUN. That's going to force a lift off and away. Good creep spread is going to allow these Lings to defend on multiple fronts here, but that's only going to be able to last for so long, as BYUN's going to start trying to take control in different corners of the map for sure. Yeah, BYUN's going to start ramping up once again, and to Rogue's credit, he is doing a good job of protecting his economy here. He's not allowing his opponent to really get things damaged on Rogue's side of the map. And he's been doing a pretty decent job of dodging those mines. But now, will the caster curse kick in? I've given Rogue credit for the mine dodges, but will that finally come to an end here? He's going to research adrenal glands, getting up into Ultralisk Cavern as well. Continues to be a scary army, but it seems as if BYUN is just going to combine his forces and push now at this point. Losing out on those medevacs and only losing 5 workers to that mine drop is crucial here. Oh, but the Bane's not going to find the connections that they're all looking for, and BYUN picks up most of his army and leaves. That's impressive. That was a full surround on all of those units, and Rogue was not able to capitalize on that. So BYUN has to continue working out. He is going to go back into his split aggression once again. I mean, Rogue has just used this as his main highway. The Autobahn, if you will. Just zipping back and forth. What if Lings weren't as fast but less squishy? Have I introduced you to our Lord and Savior, Ultralisk? They're like Zerglings, but not as fast and less squishy. Oh, I keep waiting for it to pop out. Ah, Lings into the third base location. That finds a lot of damage here. 11 of those workers going down. The Ultra should be able to pop out. And now will aid in the defense. I mean, there's really nothing to deal with the Medivacs at this point. Having those Medivacs constantly go unharassed is a very scary position for Rogue to try and play from. Where are they? Okay, there's one Ultra. Okay, there's a second Ultra. The Ultras have been split up. Okay, that's a better choice. One gets obliterated, though, almost immediately. I don't feel like Rogue's making any ground here. He did get out to his 6th base, but BYUN has just done everything in his power to try and prevent Rogue from really getting across the map. Now, Adrenal Lings, admittedly, very, very scary, especially once they grab +3. Yeah, now Hydras are going to be added into the mix. That's a much better situation, in my opinion. Even adding like 4 or 5 Hydras into these individual armies will help keep those Medivacs from sticking around and force some issues there. Shout out to all of my tower defense players. Oh, look, oh! It's impressive. It was a cool little micro moment here. Losing 12 drones. Good little mine drop snuck in there. BYUN starting to whittle away. Rogue's not able to capitalize, and his bank is now rapidly decreasing. It's continued Ling Bane Ultra aggression that doesn't have a whole lot of transition into Hydras at this point. There's not enough gas, and losing this base is a non-starter. 29 drones have gone down so far. More are on the way as well. They're just all getting picked off here. Rogue's starting to fall apart. And this is the power of Terran, baby. Whittle away at your opponent. Drop mules on the opposite side of the map. Just build command centers wherever you can. Nah, BYUN's playing pretty well. It was only a meme. Only the jokiest of jokes. But I think this is going to slowly be the death animation here for Rogue. Was it a meme, though? Well, my win rate versus Terran is significantly better as of late. And I would think if you ask the community at large, ZVT is probably one of the most interesting and compelling matchups in the game right now. So, have a difficult time arguing on that one. I feel pretty good about ZVT. It's a fun matchup. Very good back and forth, and lore-wise, one of the storied matchups in StarCraft history. Okay, Vipers are here, but Vipers aren't like gonna do much. Yeah, BYUN manages to outlast his opponent, whittle him down, and he takes this best of 3, 2-1 into the Team Liquid map making contest.